Hello, this is Edwin Dearborn, and today I want to talk to you about some proven social media strategy tips. Yes, how to win with social media and having a strategy to do so. And I'm going to go over today with you some tips on how you can actually make your social media strategy win and, more importantly, generate brand awareness and new customers for you. My name is Edwin Dearborn. You probably already know me. I've written 2 books. One of them is Power Branding Secrets, and in that book I delve deep into how to use social media and have a strategy to win at it. Okay, so how do we win at social media? Well, strategy number 1, actually have a strategy. And what I mean by a strategy isn't something that you're thinking or is a dim thought. You've actually written down, who are you? What is your unique selling proposition? What are you going to talk about? What type of content are you going to put out? How are you going to distribute that content? You see what I mean? You actually have to have a written strategy of what you're doing with social media. And part of that strategy is going to be, where am I going to concentrate my social media on? Is it going to be Facebook Live? Is it going to be YouTube videos? Is it going to be Instagram? Is it going to be Snapchat? Really, what channels am I going to focus on? Because I think that, I know the number one complaint that I see when it comes to generating effectiveness with social media is overwhelmed. They get overwhelmed by all the different channels. And I tell people that I'd rather have you get really good at one channel and ignore the rest, so that you actually have some level of competence and consistency. So that brings up my second point of having a social media strategy, is being consistent. You're not going to win in social media by doing it for a couple days, a couple weeks, or even a couple of months. To win at social media, you're going to have to be consistent over the long haul. And I beg you to take a look at the videos that Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone and other leaders in the social media space created 5, 6, 7 years ago, and they were putting out great content, and they just continue to do so. You know, Grant Cardone, for instance, was doing it on his flip phone back when, these little flip phones were popular 6, 7 years ago, and the production quality was not high. But the point is, he did not get to the high level of production quality because overnight. He got there because he kept doing it consistently. When you do anything consistently, you become better at it. And I know a lot of people will withhold themselves from putting out content because, I'm not good at it, it's not professional enough, it's not what I want. And perfectionism becomes the blood brother of procrastination. So don't procrastinate by putting out content. In fact, social media without content is like peanut butter without jelly. It just doesn't taste as good. So if you don't have a strategy and you're not putting out content, you just end up doing nothing or just doing things that are very, very random. Point number 3 with a social media strategy. We touched about content. The best content that you can create is content that is directed towards the needs and challenges or aspirations of your target audience. So in your strategy, you should have identified, okay, here's my target audiences, or personas as they're often called. And here's their most common questions. Here's the most common needs. Here's the most common challenges. And if you're putting out content that is going to fulfill their needs and answer their questions and help them out, then you as a brand is going to become more of a value asset to what they're doing. The reason why putting out this particular Facebook Live, which will also be turned into a YouTube video, is, hello Carly, is because I've been hearing a lot lately from networking and even watching other people put on social media is, oh my God, social media is so overwhelming. It's like, I don't know if I should do this or should do that. And 9 times out of 10, actually 99 times out of 100, the person has no strategy whatsoever. So they just kind of go on there and they look random because they are random. And they're random because they have no strategy. Strategy is very simple. Strategy is about having a clearly defined goal, assessing the resources of how to achieve that goal, and then the tactics of how to utilize your resources to reach that goal. I know that's a very simplistic definition of strategy, but it's a very workable definition of strategy. Okay, point number 4 here on my tips. Use video. Video is such a powerful means to transfer your knowledge, your enthusiasm, your skill sets, your insights to your audience, whether it be Facebook Live, which is what I'm doing right now. And then once I'm done with this Facebook Live and I publish it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that URL and I'm going to upload it to YouTube. I'm going to optimize that YouTube, and it's going to become evergreen content for me to share to my audience. So it doesn't matter what you do. You could be a life coach, you could be a dentist, you could be a realtor. There's always something to talk about. There's always some type of insight to share with your audience, as I'm doing right now here live. And even when I'm done doing this video, it'll be in my feed for about a day or two available. The last Facebook Live that I did, I reached about 300 people. Now imagine that, for absolutely free. I'm doing this from my iPhone with a $30 tripod. Thanks for all the likes, by the way. And I'm gonna reach over 300 people. In the last week, I've had 3 inbound leads from individuals that go, hey, Edwin, you know what? I've been following your content for months, for years, and I love what you're putting out, and I see a business opportunity, or I know of a referral, or I want to do business with you. Just had a lady reach out to me at 10 o'clock this morning going, I've been following your content for over a year. And she was like, I don't even know how we connected on Facebook. We've never even met in person, but somehow we connected on Facebook. But because of your content that you've been sharing through your blog posts, through your Facebook Live, I see a great opportunity. And this is not a small opportunity that she's offering. I'm about to do a very big gig in Laguna Beach for a very large project in Laguna Beach, which I'll tell you more lately, which originated from me doing a Facebook Live a number of months ago. So that gig, which is hopefully going to close this week, came about from a Facebook Live. But you know, I didn't know that this person was watching several of my Facebook Lives before they decided to actually reach out to me and do business with me. So the last point here on your social media strategy and tips is consistency. Consistency, consistency, consistency. How long does it take for an Olympic athlete to get to the point where they can compete in the Olympics? How long does it take for a drummer to be able to be in a top band? How long does it take for a world-class guitar player? How many hours does he have to spend on the guitar before he can play with Van Halen or with Aerosmith? I know I'm dating myself, or with Led Zeppelin, right? It takes a lot of time before the greats become great. And I think that you're underestimating the amount of time necessary for you to build a brand. I think it takes at least 2 or 3 years for you to build a really strong, consistent brand in the eyes of others if you're doing it right. Now, of course, there's people that build businesses overnight and they take the country by storm, but those are the exceptions to the rule. The rule is to build a personal brand or a business brand. People are going to want to see consistency from you. So is 6 months of social media enough consistency? I don't believe so. I think you're going to have to play the long game, right? You want to win the Super Bowl. You've got 4 preseason games, you have 16 regular games, you have championship games, and then you have the Super Bowl. It takes an entire year of practice and then playing the season. And even then, your shot of winning the Super Bowl is 1 out of 32. And what do you do if you don't win it that year? You go back to practice, you play the preseason games, and it can take years, if not decades, to build a championship brand in the NFL. So if you want to play, the big game in social media, you've got to play the long game. And you've got to think about, what can I do every single day that will build my consistency? And next thing you know, guess what? You're going to be getting clients like I am. So those are some actionable tips. Use video, be consistent, have a strategy, play the long game, answer questions, offer value, listen to the audience, and be timely with the information that you're sharing. So those are some social media strategy tips. I hope you got some value out of this. Thank you for all the likes. If you feel that others could find value in this, please share this video. Again, my name's Edwin Dearborn, and you can check out all my strategies that I share with people with my book, Power Branding Secrets. Okay, thank you. Have a great day, and make it a great one. Bye-bye.